मेरा आवाज क्लियर
Okay.
है?
Yeah,
My
clear.
voice is
Perfect.
clear?
Beautiful,
हाँ,
beautiful.
okay, okay, all right.
My dear and old friend Shujit Sarkar is here, and it's so wonderful to talk to you. I asked you this question off the mic, but I want all your fans and listeners and our mutual friends also to know. I hope everything is healthy and safe during lockdown, Shujit.
Thank you so much. Yes, so far all good, and it's lovely to see you, Rishi.
Always wonderful. What a treat you have given us. I mean, for me, as a fan of Shujit Sarkar's films, as a fan of the combination of Jui Chaturvedi and Shujit, you're in top form. And lucky us journalists that we get to see preview copies, and really, you have beautifully stunned us, if there is a term like that, with Gulabo Sitabo. Thank you very much. What a wonderful piece of cinema.
Thank you so much. It was not an easy cinema for me. It's difficult, and especially bringing Amitabh Bachchan, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, and Ayushmann, bringing them together, almost unrecognizable, and shooting in the city of Lucknow, uh, and the kind of banters they have, and the way the film is um, about some ordinary people, ordinary life, and simple ordinary things happening uh, to the inside the world of Gulabo Sitabo. So this was quite fascinating for me, and I love cinema which are simple and straight out of the real life, and I enjoy that. And that's what Gulabo Sitabo is. It's a Gulabo Sitabo world.
This is literally Juhi Chaturvedi's backyard. I mean, she's a Lucknow ki ladki. She's born, brought up there, and she knows this terrain like the back of her hand. And for her, this must be the project that's the dearest to her. It's very difficult considering you guys are involved with some landmark pieces of work. I mean, we're talking films like Vicky Donor, October in Between, now this one. So, must mean so much to Juhi also, your writer collaborator.
Yes, of course. I mean, because uh, 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 Lucknow is her town, Juhi's town. So she's been there. She's brought up there. So definitely this town gave the city, I'll say, and especially the old Lucknow city, that gave a lot of support in terms of the creative support for the film. So few basic things were taken about care about the basic characters, the lingos, the food. You can smell the food, the people, the diversity of that city, the locations. So that was given. But like every film, it is not easy to create this entire drama of 2 hours. So that takes a lot of strength, and it's the same for all the films. It's not that Lucknow is a town, so it becomes easy to cook. No, it's not. It's also difficult to cook. Um, and as I say that you can call Gulabo Sitabo is my first satire, social satire. So I have tried my hand in satire, and I hope you like it. Satire is not easy to do. It's very difficult.
Totally. And I'm given to understand, I know that the film, I mean, it's not really a spoiler for people who haven't seen it. The film starts with a bit of a puppetry. And I believe Gulabo Sitabo is actually a famous puppetry show in that part of the world. Tell us a little bit about that, please.
Uh, when we had written the film and we were doing our bit of research work, so we got this Gulabo Sitabo, one YouTube clip that was shared. Juhi shared it with me, and it was this puppeteer who was performing, and we all liked it. We thought, why not to use this name Gulabo Sitabo somewhere down the in the film. We are shooting a film in Lucknow. The backdrop is Lucknow. The bantering is almost like Gulabo Sitabo. So why don't we use this dying performing art as a metaphor and title the film? and that's how Gulabo Sitabo. We both, and even Ronnie, we all liked it. Mr. Bachchan liked it. And so we straight away went for the name Gulabo Sitabo. And as I said, if I can do something for these artists who are almost hand to mouth, it's difficult for them in this present age of internet to survive just with puppet art, you know. Like I said earlier, this is like an ode to this art form.
Yeah, and I believe it's basically the story has something to do with two bahus bickering or a sas bahu bickering. And in effect, that's what Ayushman's character and Mr. Bachchan's character are doing for a lot of the film.
No, yes, no, nothing to do with those character, but yes, bickering is there, but nothing to do with Gulabu Sitabu as such. But yes, you will see not only them, not only Ayushman and Mr. Bachchan. There are plenty of other characters who will be, you will see and experience. As I said, it's a Gulabu Sitabu world. But yes, they take head on each other, Ayushman and Mr. Bachchan. And I think they were also quite fascinated to work with each other because it's a head on clash.
Yeah. In terms of the prosthetics, did you get somebody from abroad? Because, I mean, for Mr. Bachchan, I don't think he's had this kind of prosthetics since Balki's Pa. You know, the layering and the kind of detailing. I mean, he's totally unrecognizable. It's just Mirza. There's no Amitabh Bachchan.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Our whole attention was to create and construct Mirza, and to break any other characters or any other aura that Mr. Bachchan was carrying, and to create. And not only us, he himself wanted that, no, I must look like Mirza and nobody else. We got our one of our collaborator. She is one of the very known, famous makeup artist, Pia Cornelius from Sweden, and she was the one who came and transformed Mr. Bachchan. And we have partnered with her in many films.
Wonderful. And you know, the sheer patience of the man to have to wait it out. I'm sure it must have been a two hour job before and maybe an hour and a half to get it off pre and
More,
post shoot.
yeah, more than that. I think it's around 3 hours to 3.5 hours. Why? Because you have to get up in the morning, you have to come to the set, then sit on the makeup, and then finish, and then go back. So I take those time also as a time for his. For example, if there is a 6 o'clock shift, my team will be very scared to tell me that, sir, it's a 6 o'clock shift. But we were shooting in absolute peak summer, so we had to shoot early. So we will go to his van, and I know it'll be very difficult for tell him when to tell the call sheet. So he said, yeah, Shujit, tell me. So I said, sir, tomorrow early morning. What time? So I'll say that's 6 o'clock. So it's, oh, 6 o'clock. So I should be here 3:30. So before I tell him that 3:30, he tells me 3:30. So I am okay. I said, but sir, you need to sleep. And no, you don't have to worry about that. You tell me what time you want to be on the set. So I said, so 6 o'clock is very good because there won't be heat will be less, and it will be easy for us to shoot. Yes, I will be there 3:30. So that's the way he works, and he will come on the set at 6 o'clock straight.
And I know that he's very, very fond of you because I remember having this incredible conversation in Jalsa. I think it was you, me, him, and I forget whether it was during Piku. No, Piku, you had come to my studio. I think it was during
Pink,
Pink.
pink.
And the way he looks at you and the way he reacts and things like that. And I remember joking with him saying that he seems to be very fond of bongs, because he's a jamai of Bengal, because both Shujoy and you are can say anything to him, and he just loves you guys. So there's obviously some kind of a bond. I mean, you could say it's professional, fine, we work, we don't spend many days together, but there's obviously something there, Sudhit.
Yes, of course. I mean, no denial now. I think it's now the fourth film that we are working together, and we have done many other collaborations in terms of spots and short films. So yes, our relationship has matured. It's matured to a point that he still has you know has a faith in us. He trusts us, he surrenders to my the vision that I have for the character. So I think all this comes from a kind of a working relationship and a bonding and a friendship, which is off the set. So I think now we can call each other and talk about anything, like we will talk about the pandemic or the Mahamari or anything we can talk. So we can so we still trying to work together and respect each other.
Well, I want to tell all young filmmakers listening to this that it's not the other way around. It's not that Shujit Sarkar is close to Amitabh Bachchan and that's why he's working in the cinema. It's because he's so good at his job, and Mr. Bachchan recognizes that. His work is so note perfect, and then the friendship happened. So don't think that there are any shortcuts. You can be a friend of a star and then he stars in your film. People like Mr. Bachchan work with the best, and then if a friendship develops, so be it. Ayushman's lisp, I find that fantastic, and I want to know whether it's your idea, Ayushman's idea, Jui's idea, because you see, the execution is one thing. You know that these are very fine actors, they will execute. But the idea of it, I mean, he could have just played it straight without the lisp, but I just love that touch. Talk to me about that.
Well, I think I will give that to Ayushman, because I think this lisping idea came from him. So one day we were just jamming before the shoot, and he says, "Can I just lisp and try this?" I said, "Try kar, dekh." It's the same way like Vicky Donor. He started singing. I said, "तू गाना भी गाता है? चलो गाना भी डालेंगे." तो he said, "Lisp." तो मैंने बोला, "Very good." बोलता, "तू maintain कर पाएगा?" बोलता, "हाँ मैं कर लूँगा. I am a very good. I can do it." So then he started practicing the lisping, and then that's how it is. So I think I give complete credit to Ayushman for creating that little nuance of that lisping in Bake's character.
Yeah, and Shujit, it's just the right amount. I mean, if it had been overdone, it wouldn't have worked. But it just comes out at the right points, and I think that's just so
I
beautiful.
think yeah, I think that's the beauty of it. I think so. Ayushman knew that I'm not going to let him, or in my film there wouldn't be any playing to the gallery.
And in that aspect, you're a Delhi bong. I mean, you've grown up in Delhi, and a lot of old Lucknow reminds you of old Delhi. I mean, these areas like
Oh yes.
Aminabad and Chowk and things like that. The structures and the darwazas and things like that. I'm very intrigued by the production design. Did you actually find a Fatima Mahal? Tell me about that, and to find that right structure, if you did, or if it was your production designers coming in there and recreating that. Just take us through that.
Both ways. Yes, we found a beautiful Haveli. It was the Mahmudabad Haveli near the Lal Darwaza. So yes, because the film revolved around an old city. And of course, Lucknow, the old part of Lucknow is not changed yet. It is still in that time. So there are many buildings and many houses and many alleys and streets which are exactly old, still old, and the structures are old. So yes, we did little bit of work in the palace, but we actually got the Fatima Mahal more or less set there, and because of the structure of the Fatima Mahal, me and Juhi came back to the board and we adjusted our little structure of the script or the particular scene, the way it has to be narrated according to that house, because that house was so important to be the part of this narrative.
Beautiful. And even the archaeology office, old Kesarbagh area archaeology office, it's just so beautifully. I've always wondered. I mean, where do boys who are in the arts like you and me get to experience what archaeologists do? And in that aspect, cinema is really a beautiful, beautiful window. The fact that a lot of people now like me know what the insides of an archaeology office and the lab looks like. It's just wonderful. So where did that come from? I mean, did you have somebody who's actually gone to one? The recreation of it, the authenticity
So
of it.
so we created this lab in the college of in the Lucknow University, the College of Art and Drawing. Um, there we went and we found that structures are still old, and we created there. So we took some references of this lab from different photograph images, which is there documented, and some documentaries we saw, and from there we visualized, because nobody has been to those kind of labs, so we recreated with some kind of an imagination. And we know sometimes an official lab would look like. That's what you see there.
Very sarkari, might I add. Uh, uh, Shantanu Mitra is in just such fine form in the BGM, in the background music. I mean, as an audio boy, I'm always, keeping my ear out for background music. I don't know. I have to talk to him now. The first thing is you get the Shujit Sarkar interview out of the way, and then you get to all the other collaborators. It will happen. But the fact that he's, I noticed a Shehnai in there. I don't know if it's a didgeridoo. Back in the day, when even when you used to call me
Yo,
to
yeah, yes, yes,
voiceovers.
yes, you're right.
Yeah, you used
You
to
got
call
it
me to
right. You got it right. Yeah.
voiceovers. Yeah, you used to call me for voiceovers to, Octavius and to Digital Domain. I used to see all these instruments, didgeridoo, this, that, lying around. And I was like, are these instruments actually used in commercial cinema? And here we have this. It's so beautiful. And then suddenly there's some Baul Sangeet happening. Then, there is a modern vibe. I know you have three different music directors for the album. But let's start talking about the background music, and then let's come to the regular music with Tochi Raina, Mika, Anuj Garg, and Abhishek Arora, and all these guys.
Okay, so for me, the most important part of a cinematic background's creation is the score. So my whole concentration goes on the score rather than songs. Frankly speaking, I depend on a lot of scores to back my films, and Shantanu has been partnering me in this, and they play a very important role. For example, in this particular film, and most of the time when Shantanu creates a track, he creates just before we go to the shoot, so that it plays on our head, and the rhythm is right. So in this one, we were cracking our head. What is the sound should be for Gulabo Sitabo? What the sound should be for Mirza and this? So I went, and we discussed. I didn't describe the script yet. I just described the characters a bit and little bit of the world. So I went, and we started the shoot, and I kept on asking Shantanu, "Kuch ho raha hai?" Bolta, "Haan, I'm thinking. So we'll just get something. I'm just preparing something."
Typical Shantanu.
So I shot. I remember I was shooting, and I had finished shooting for 7 days, I think. And then I see one SMS. Uh, I've done some paglami. Paglami in Bangla means madness. So I've done some. So I've done some madness. Hear it out and let me know. And in the middle of, you can imagine the chaos, the heat, and I just put my headphones and heard. And as soon as I heard the music, I jumped with so much of joy that Shantanu has just cracked it to the first go. And you're right, we have used the instruments which are rooted to Bengal and which are rooted to Lucknow, because Lucknow and Bengal has got a lot of influences, food and basic tehzeeb and a lot of influences. So we fused it, and this particular music piece then gave birth to everything, the songs and to this. So this was the driving factor for us to move, and then we moved into the songs. And in terms of songs also, uh, I didn't give too much attention to songs. I just wanted the songs to be absolutely grounded, talking about the real issues. I wanted just the songs to be more like uh, more inspiration from Kabir. So the way a street singer would sing. So I think if you see, you will have a smell of a lot of street singer on this, or baul, or a lot of Sufi singers. So you will feel that smell that feeling. Um, and I think that makes it so possibly wonderful. How it happened, I cannot explain it to you. I think with the flow, it kept on happening, and we kept on um, getting some really beautiful real life stuff.
But your music directors appreciate that about you. I remember speaking to Onupam, and I remember him telling me, Dada just lets you be. He says you do it. He puts the responsibility on the music director, which is fantastic. I mean, a lot of most people will not like a director sitting in the studio and saying ye bar change kar ye wo. So I think your style of functioning is very friendly to a music director, you know. I think and I think that's why it comes out the way it is.
Yes, I mean, I'm not been to any sound recording on this.
Yeah.
My only thing goes, yes, I like it or don't like it, because I don't understand music. Frankly speaking, I only feel music. So whatever I feel, I tell them. When there is a kind of a briefing that I go into the song, that brief I give. I see the lyrics, for example. If some words does not fit in, I comment, but I don't interfere and go there, because there's one art which I don't understand. So I'm dependent. I'm dependent on, and cinema is a collaborative art, and you need to depend on a lot of things. So same with cinematography. So yes, you're right. I leave that to the experts.
But I will now ask you about this thing that completely threw me off, which is I can understand the folk music and the Tochi Raina and Mika and, you know, all this coming together of Baul, UP tradition. In the end, there's a very Western kind of cool kind of almost like hip hop beat. And I was like, whoa, what is this? You know? Um, Again, I don't want to give out spoilers, but in the end, you know, there's a sequence where a lot of cars are driving out of the Mahal, the Fatima
Isn't
Mahal.
that beautiful? Isn't that
It's
fantastic to
just,
see?
I was like, ye kya ho raha hai? First, I thought that maybe, you know, in preview copies, you can only play it on a computer. I said कि मेरे कंप्यूटर में और कुछ तो नहीं बज रहा है. You know, sometimes some program is open and, you know, media players playing something, and then I realized, no, no, it's in the film. And I was like, oh, where did that come from? So you've got to tell me how do you include it, how you included that.
Anyway, I wanted people to see the film and get a jerk, shock, where
Yeah,
is
I
this?
did.
And
That's what you
this
gave
film,
me.
it's a Gia Khalib and a song, and that's I've heard. And I thought that particular sequence in the film is absolutely out of the box, because you don't imagine that sequence that can happen. So I thought, why not to use something which is nobody can understand what's happening. You can just yes, it's in particular language. I would not say what language it is,
Yeah.
but um, so that people just take it by. It's just a surprise. It's just a complete from an out of the planet. Somewhere it doesn't belong to. So, and I think that's worked. I guess that's what I think
It
it's worked.
certainly, you know, made me shift and say what's happening. But lovely groove is fantastic. I want to know if Juhi had any collaborators in terms of the dialogue writing, because I'll tell you there are some very very particular colloquial things like, you know, Lucknow University ke gunde bula denge. You know, I'll get the gundas to come and give you a hiding, and you know the leja. What you've got a fantastic supporting cast. You know the way Shilpi Srivastav speaks, or Vijay Raz or Brijendra Kala, any of these people. So Jui's dialogue writing collaborators, you know, people who give these inputs to make it just totally bang on local.
No, I think it's purely her talent there of picking up these dialogues and nuances. It's absolutely. We picked up few which were from the audition tapes, because when we went for audition, so there were so many local people who have auditioned. So some have, very few has come, but most of the dialogues were already written in the script, and it is absolutely Juhi's pick.
Beautiful. Let's now talk about the lady who plays Begum. That's Farooq Jafar.
Jafar.
Jafar, oh my God. She is absolutely stunning. What do I say about her? She's beautiful. She's a thespian. Please talk to me. Spend some time talking to me about her. And, you know, the casting, the execution, and,
So
you know,
we
how amazing.
we wanted another lady Begum, who is also part of this Haveli. So we thought, we wanted somebody elderly, and of course, uh, generally if Zora Sehgal was there, it would have
Zora
gone to
Pais.
Zora
Yeah.
Sehgal possibly. So we wanted a caliber of an artist who could be of that. So Ronnie had seen, I think, bits of. She's from Lucknow. She's done stage. She's done radio. She's done. Um, she's not done this big a character ever. I think she was also Nawazuddin's a grandmother or something in some one film. Which so. So we found her, and she was suggested to me by Ronnie, my friend and producer. Said, "Why don't you check her out?" And we went to her. She can't hear properly. She walks with a
Walker.
stand, a
Hmm.
walker. And I said, I was thinking, my casting director took me there, Jogi. I thought, Jogi, जा तो रहे हैं, ये कर लेंगे कि नहीं, and all, because we thought we'll just have a formal meeting and we'll somehow walk out, we'll see where it goes. But when I went there and asked her daughter, will she be able to do it? And she said, shh, don't tell her in front of this. If she hears this, she'll get depressed. So she's jumping. She wants to face Mr. Bachchan right now. So I said, okay, fine, okay, fine. So then I went and spoke to her. Batao kya karna hai? Oh, she's like a lioness there sitting there on a sofa. So that's what she did in this film also, sitting there, you know. And we have captured her the way she is.
Beautiful. And Brijendra Kala and Vijay Raz and Shrishti Srivastav. I mean, it's just so wonderful. Every time I see Gajraj Rao or Shujit Sarkar or Jogi, I become a boy all over again. Because I know you guys for so long, and it's I know that Jogi again and you have been such close collaborators. You've been working, you're dear friends. And logically, this is a question I should ask Jogi, but since he's not here, how does Jogi decide when he is going to act? Or does he decide that? Because he's such a phenomenal actor. He's an
I
actor
think,
first and then a casting director.
yeah, I think what he does is, see, and as soon as my script is done, I think the first person to read is Jogi, actually,
Wow.
because my casting process is going to start. So he's the one. So I think when he reads, he doesn't cast that particular guy that he wants to actually he wants to do. So he'll tell me, इसमें एक रोल है जो मैं करूंगा, उसका कास्टिंग की चिंता मत करना, ये मैं कर लूं. ठीक है.
And
ठीक
you
है. And
trust him, obviously.
of course, he's one of the finest actors we have. There's
In
no
the
doubt
country.
about it. Oh yeah, yeah, he's one of the finest. So I think, and you know us from Delhi days, you
Yeah.
and me, Raj, and all Pradeep Da and every Shantanu. So Jogi knows, as soon as he's reading the script, he knows which one to pick, and he'll say, I'm going to do this." He does a perfect justice to that.
Yeah, wonderful. And really big ups to Brijendra Kala, to Vijay Raz. You see, the thing is
Oh,
that,
Vijay Raj.
yeah,
I'm really, I want to talk that, I just really, for a long time, wanted to work with Vijendra Kala and Vijay Varma also. Vijay Varma is another finest artist. Vijendra Kala's timing is absolutely brilliant. So they make this film absolutely such a lively affair. They make it absolutely rooted there in Lucknow. You will see these kind of characters. If you see Vijendra Kala or the way their get-ups are, the way they're talking, you will feel like it's just been picked up from the street and the camera is just in front of them for both of them. And same with Srishti and there are a lot many other characters. Let people see the film and then we'll talk more.
no, very honestly, that's to me the beauty of a Shujit Sarkar film is that because you understand nuances of various communities so beautifully. Like for example, how a Catholic person who's lived in the north, in UP, in the heartland of UP, would kind of behave. And people just talk about how emancipated women are or how liberal they are in the big cities in Bombay and things like that. And you've got characters like Shivastav's character, Shilpi's. What
Srishti,
is the full
yeah.
name? Shishti Shivastav. Her
Guddu.
character, Guddu, who are small town but they're so liberal and emancipated. It's a
Yeah, I think
beautiful
the
thing.
women have played a. I think women have played a very strong characters in my film, including whether it's Piku or whether it's the mother of Dan in October or BG in Vicky Donor. So similar here, Srishti Srivastav, who's Guddo, and she's really a firebrand in this film. She's really fiery, and the way her character speaks. Maybe she's from a small town, small city, but she is as modern and progressive like any other woman from the city.
Beautiful. Now, we all change. Some of us change inside, some of us change in size, like me. And this is a question that everybody's going to ask you. The Ayushman of Vicky Dona was the new kid on the block. I mean, he had just come out of MTV, this, that, and now he's a bona fide superstar. Uh, Thank God that his acting skills are improving along the way, and it's not just the stardom. So being back on a set with him, and you've obviously, I'm sure you've stayed in touch through WhatsApp, Milna now and then, but you both lead very busy lives, and I'm sure you haven't been able to spend so much time together till a film comes along. So talk to me about the Ayushman then and now.
Post Wiki Donor, me and Ayushman were in touch quite often. So we were in touch. Yes, in the middle, this 8 years, he has done many other films. I didn't have the opportunity to watch all the films, but some I have watched, a couple of them. Um, um, I didn't feel Ayushman on the sets of Gulabo Sitabo as if I'm meeting him after 8 years. I just felt he walked out of the Wiki Donor set and he entered the Gulabo Sitabo set. So I didn't feel it was such, in Wiki Donor, we became so close. And I work with people who are, who become my family in terms of my unit. So everybody, he came and everybody from the Wiki Donor team was there. So for him, it was not new. All the faces that were in front were all, seen. It just only Mr. Bachchan was new on the set for him. So that's it. But I think he is matured. He's still there. He's still holding his ground and his performance. We knew how much and what talent he has and what he can do, and that's why the Banke Rastogi character, he plays it to the T. I think it's brilliantly performed by Ayushman actually.
And I've got to say that Ovik, your cameraman, has just done such a splendid job. I mean, whether you see
Oh
shots of
yeah.
the river Gomti, or these old monuments and the darwazas and things like that, he's just opened it up, and it's wonderful. Another person that you really, like you said, is family to you in terms of collaboration.
Yes, I collaborated with him in many films, and even next few films also I'm collaborating with him. Let me tell you one very important fact about this film, Gulabo Sitabo. This When I spoke to him about Gulabo Sitabo and gave him the brief, um, he came up with a suggestion that we will shoot this film in wide lens, and we will use one single lens the entire film. If you see, I don't think any film in India, it's not in my knowledge, that's ever been shot in single lens and wide lens. So everything you see, even if it's close up or if it's a wide shot or it's a mid shot, everything is one single lens. If you will feel it's seamless. It's moving on. It's his contribution, and I think Gulabo Sitabo is one of his finest work. Ovik Mukhopadhyay's. So I'm really proud of him.
You see, in the heart, Mr. Bachchan is an Allahabadi boy, and
Yes, of
he's
course.
yeah, he is. He loves being in that UP milieu. But thankfully, with having been married to the wonderful Jayaji, he has that connection with Bangla culture. So to be on a set in Lucknow where he's in the middle of the UP heartland, which is what he is, being the Allahabadi, Kanpuria, Lucknow boy, and then having Ovik and you and Ronnie, which is the Bong connection, as it were. He must have been in a happy place. He loves to talk in Bangla also. The mood with Mr. Bachchan on the set.
Yes, I think I have seen this. I don't know it's in my set or not, but in our set, he is the absolute Bindas boy. He is, and especially what you're absolutely right that he's a Lucknow, and he loves to be, he loves there to be in UP. So Lucknow was absolute cool for him, and of course he's comfortable with me and Obigda. With Obigda, he shot many films, earlier other films also apart from my films. So I think yes, as I said, it's like a family. And with Mr. Bachchan, it's now 17 years we started. This is the fourth film we are doing together.
Yep.
So he knows the set, he knows the people, he knows the grill, he knows the drill. We know his drill. So I think we know his mindset. Where is he going? How is he doing things? So I think it's a very simple mechanism that we have now worked in. So it doesn't feel like that Mr. Bachchan has just come out of the pink set and he's in the um, Gulabo Sitabo set.
Well, you can't have gone to Lucknow and not tasted local delicacies. I hope you ordered that tunde kebab from Aminabad, and Juhi Chaturvedi, made sure that the right kind of food was coming from every corner of Lucknow.
Yes, but a lot of people in Lucknow complain that I've turned vegetarian for last 8 9 years.
Oh,
But so they
how
prepared
can
a
a bong not
special.
eat fish? Sorry to interrupt, but how can a bong not eat fish? Are you eating fish?
No, I don't eat fish, or I don't eat.
I'm very impressed.
I'm a vegetarian now for last 7 8 years, and so far I'm okay. I'm good. I have no problem at all.
And why have you
So
turned vegetarian? Is there a particular reason? Did you see Netflix's Game Changers and that's why it happened? Was there a turning point?
no, not it's not the game changer. It's just the simple, usual life. I wanted to practice it. Little bit of a meditation. It helped me a lot of turning from turning into a vegetarian. But it's not a sacrosanct for everyone. That's not a point. But it just I tried this experiment, and some spiritual reasons also I did it. And I thought I will switch it off for a few days, maybe weeks. Then it went to months, and then years, and I'm still a vegetarian. And
And you
I'm
feel
okay.
more peace. You feel more peace inside since you've been vegetarian.
Yes, I mean somewhere down the line. See, I'm okay. I'm happy, and I'm my sports stamina has not changed because of me being a vegetarian. That's my test. So that's good. So, but to come back to your answer to your question is that they prepared absolutely special um, vegetarian tunda kebabs. Now you will laugh at me. There can't be a vegetarian tunda kebab, but they are now used to it. A lot of my non-veg friends are going to laugh at me. Come on. But no, they served me some brilliant vegetarian food, and I was happy. Lucknow, and there's a lot of influence of Lucknow in Kolkata. So as I said, a lot of Kolkata Mughlai food is, inspired or influences of Lucknow food.
Let's sign off with your life in lockdown. I mean, these are, like I told you in the beginning off the mic, it's like a dystopian film. It's like we have to get used to this new normal. So, how are things, friends, family, all healthy? Are you going out for grocery runs a couple of times a week? Do the supplies come to the building, to the house, and you bring it up and sanitize it? How has life been in lockdown, Shujit?
So I've been in Kolkata since beginning March, and so I have not stepped out of um, at all. I've just stepped out once, one day, because I had to go to my dental checkup. That's it. Rest, I think, as I tweet everything nowadays that I'm doing a lot of housework, and grocery is the supply chain is my just neighborhood general store, me too, from my CK Market, who just sends me whatever I tell him. So they have been absolutely. My vegetable vendor comes out and he gives my everyday vegetables. So this lockdown has been absolutely peaceful. And frankly speaking, I don't know, a lot of no one will agree possibly, but I am happy in this lockdown, and I want to be like this. I've lived my life like this lockdown. This is my space in Kolkata. I go to terrace. I go. There's a football ground there. I go play football. I didn't go to play football since the lockdown, but this is my life, and I want to spend. And lockdown, I'm happy that I don't have to interact too much. So it keeps me at peace. So I am at peace in this lockdown.
Is there one skill that you've worked on during lockdown? I mean, something new that you've learned? Because if you spend more time in isolation, sometimes you just pick up something, a new dish, a new software, something, anything that has happened.
It's the magic mop that I am now addicted to. It's so comfortable, I can't tell you.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have, and it goes into corners and nooks and all. So I have, I'm just addicted to magic mop.
Beautifully put. And you must be missing your football. I mean, you must be aching to go out there and start playing. Like
Yes,
you
yes.
always say, you're a footballer first.
The first thing they allow, the lockdown is over, and this pandemic takes a downward graph. I'm surely going to go and play football.
Shujit, was it an easy decision to say, I'm going to go on an OTT platform and not wait it out for a theatrical release? Or was it something that immediately happened? Or did you guys have a lot of discussions?
Yeah, it took a lot of discussions because it was not easy to decide that we want to go to a digital platform because we started making the film for a theatrical release. It happened when we passed our release date, that was 17th of April. Um, and then we started thinking about it, and we started talking to a lot of people around, my producers. So it was not an easy decision. It was a tough decision because, but then you will have to evolve. You see, you and me are like the way you are talking to me on otherwise you would have come to my office or I would have
Yep.
gone to your studio.
Yeah.
So it is the adaptability that we are adapting to situation at this moment. And I just wanted this film to reach the audiences as quick as possible. So I think this decision of digital medium and um, the way Amazon Prime Video has given me the kind of release, I never had this release in so many countries at one given point. So I think that's really new for me. But I'm going to experiment this for first time, and I will share my experiences sure soon next time when we talk.
Lovely. And in terms of getting back to the new normal, are you talking with colleagues in the industry? It's not going to be easy because even if you go onto a unit and you keep it to the bare minimum, I mean, at the end of the day, the actors have to be out there without their masks if you're going to be filming real time. So it's not going to be easy. I mean, a radio program, a television program can still happen from your study, but
Yeah.
film is a different process, and it's going to take some time. But you are positive that the industry can actually have lean, small units, get the job done, and go at minimum risk to people.
I don't know. I mean, how we will have to again say adapt to a situation and go to a guidelines. But shooting used to be chaotic affair actually. If you've been to a set, it needs a lot of interaction, a lot of human interaction, a lot of small details. It's everything from costumes to properties to sound to performances to sets to painting the colors. So it needs so much of attention, detail, and work. Smaller unit is peaceful, but Indian smaller units is difficult to enjoy unless we have 200 people shouting at the same time and still actors are performing there.
Yeah.
So yes, I think we will have to adapt. Of course, we can't go to a chaotic situation now because guidelines are pretty strong, and we know that we'll have to go by the guidelines. So no, we will survive, but I think it's going to take time, patience. We will
Yeah,
survive.
patience. You know what I'm really missing? I'm happy that we're able to chat like this, but I'm really missing because every time I meet you, the first thing I do is give you a hug, and you give me a hug. So I'm missing that real hug. So I can give you a virtual hug, you in Kolkata, me in
Yep.
Mumbai, and virtual hug to you. Thank you for a wonderful cinematic experience, Gulabo Sidabo. And everybody who's watching and listening, I'm sure will go and enjoy it as much as I have done. Thank you, Shujit Sarkar. It was wonderful catching up with you. God bless you and your family. Stay safe, stay healthy.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Rishi.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.